He taught me everything.
He's indicated this fight means a lot to him, that you need to win.
When did he indicate that?
This is what we've been told.
Okay. I haven't, like I said, I haven't heard from him. I haven't heard any indications from him. As far as I know, he doesn't want this fight to go ahead. He still doesn't.
Do you feel that responsibility to win it for the Eubank name, given it's a Benn you're fighting?
We are both in the same boat. We both have to go forward and uphold the family name. The first fight, that was what it was all about. Now there's a lot more involved. Now there's a lot more at stake. Now
that little bombastic side eye that you just gave. Let me just rewind it back to that.
Now there's a lot more involved.
Check this. Look at that.
Now there's a lot more at stake.
Oh
Now,
my God.
It is personal between me.
Well, the stakes have been raised, Conor, because I wanted to explore Chris's relationship with his father, because it's obviously significant that your dad's going to be right with you and is, and at the moment his father is not. And I hope he is there, Chris Sr, on your big night. It'll be an extraordinary spectacle if both fathers are there to watch their sons fight. But there's no doubt the ante has been ratcheted up between you two, from not just being Benn v Eubank, a generational thing, but also since the last fight got cancelled at the last minute because you'd failed the drugs test at the time, and the way that he's reacted to that and repeatedly called you a cheat, said he doesn't believe the results, exonerates you, inferred, as we've heard again tonight, slurs against your father by association, saying he must have known that you were doing this deliberately, and secondly, that in his opinion means that maybe your father also did that.
He did suggest it, but not in the way how he is putting it forth now. A comment where it's like, we don't know, and these are questions that are now being raised, to, yes, we know Nigel Benn was taking drugs because his son's taking them. Like, Piers Morgan, relax, just calm down. It's almost like he's trying to start a fight in the studio. I mean, are you ready for that?
There's no evidence, but that's taken things up a lot, hasn't it?
Not really. I thought he was an idiot then. I think he's an idiot now. Oh, the facts are the facts. Irrelevant of what he believes, he's an idiot. The facts are the facts. That don't change.
But are you aware of the legacy on your shoulders when you get in that ring?
Yeah, but my dad loves me regardless. My dad's proud of me regardless. The relationship I have with my dad is beyond boxing. It's funny because my dad doesn't really care about what I do in my career. My dad cares more about me as a man and about my happiness and about the direction I'm heading in. You don't really, boxing's a now thing. You know, my dad's my hero and, you know, I'm my dad's hero. And it's sad to see, to be honest, because we are where we are, whether we like it or not, because of our dads.
That's true.
Yeah, I agree with that. And both in the fact that it's a sad thing and the fact that they are both fighting because of their fathers. Every day with your father, you come home, again, the conversation is about boxing. There's no disconnect. And I think that is a very surreal lifestyle and relationship with your father. And then to get into this situation where everyone now knows that he's no longer with his dad, they haven't spoken for so long. All of this private stuff is public. And I think there's no safeguarding for Chris Eubank Jr. in terms of his mental health.
Yeah, we have to work hard. Yeah, we have to go through adversity. Yeah, we have to go through Nepo kids. But ultimately, this is the blessings of our dads. They laid the foundation for us. So it's sad to see that the relationship ain't working on their end, genuinely, and I mean that. It's sad to see. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that being funny, you know, because the relationship I have with my dad, it would be great to see you and your dad in your corner. I mean that. Not no sarcasm.
Bombastic.
Not being
It's hard to believe.
No, I'm being, well,
I've got to be careful. I don't want you
I'm saying
drawing
what
me
I'm
into
saying.
something.
No, listen, I'm
I
just
think
saying.
he's being
I'm being
sincere.
No, because you haven't heard the things he said leading up to this interview.
About you. Yeah, about you, of course. I think you're an idiot.
About our relationship, my father's
Yeah, your
relationship.
dad don't like you. Yes, I agree. Your dad don't
so
like
I
you.
can't-
It's a matter of, that's a fact.
Him talking about him,
It's a
I
fact.
take everything he's saying with a grain of salt. I can't help it.
Okay, well, it's a matter of fact your dad don't like you, otherwise he'd be here. It's not really, it's not me just saying that or speculating that. It's the truth. But
You don't know what the truth is.
okay,
Conor Benn almost went from a wholesome situation to, again, a small joust because he was like, I can't really take your comments as a compliment because, you know, what you've said in the past. Well, yeah, your dad doesn't like you.
You think
well,
you know.
you don't know what the truth is. You think you know. It's all right back at you. But what I'm trying to say to you is it would be nice to see your dad there in your corner. Come find that. Because at the present moment, he thinks I'll knock you out. Again, a matter of fact. I'm not saying that being funny. That's what your dad believes. It's out there.
Yeah.
So, but I genuinely, it's not, again, you may think I'm being sarcastic. We are where we are. We are where we are because of our dads.
Yeah.
They've laid the foundation. We are like our dads. We are the double and carbon copy of our dads.
Yeah.
It's not. So it'd be great to see your dad in your corner.
They are very much like, I've probably said it before, but, you know, Conor Benn is very much volatile like his dad. Chris Eubank Jr. is very polished on the camera, just like his dad.
Are you just going to be as ferocious as you can possibly be? Is that the natural instinct that you feel?
Absolutely, and it's the same for him. He's talking it down a little bit right now, but the truth of the matter is,
I'm still going to render you unconscious.
There you go.
I want you to get up. I want
that's-
you to wake up.
That's
Yes,
what we
I do.
want. That's what I want to hear.
Yes, I do want you to wake up. I'm still going to flatten. Period. So I'm not trying to downplay it.
And that's the
He's
mentality.
asking about my intentions. Yes, I want you to get back up. Yes, I want you to carry on living your life. But I will splatter your head all over the canvas.
That's good.
Yes, that's still going to be a matter of fact.
That's
come
what I
April
need to hear.
27th.
I need to hear that. I don't want all this soppy bullshit that you guys are trying to get into right now.
Ain't no soppy nothing.
No, well, Piers
Ain't soppy when you're
Piers
eating
is
canvas. Ain't
putting
gonna be
this
soppy when you're eating the
interview
canvas.
into our
No, ain't
direction,
gonna be
which I
soppy.
don't want.
Listen,
I don't want
you're
it to
gonna
be.
be eating that canvas April 26th.
Why do you think that, and what direction do you think I'm taking?
You know exactly what you're doing, Piers.
Well, tell me.
You're very good at what you do, but I'm not falling into the trap.
What do you think the trap
Okay.
is? Genuinely curious.
I don't want this to be, you're not getting any emotions out of me.
Chris Eubank Jr. is talking about the perspective that he needs to maintain as a fighter. He does not want to delve into emotional hurdles that might change his view of Conor Benn. He needs to have this idea of Conor Benn, this opponent he needs to be wary of. He prefers this attitude of Conor Benn where he talks badly about his dad, says things like, I'm going to splatter your head around the ring, as opposed to, I want Chris Eubank Jr. to be unscathed within the fight. I don't want him to be hurt. I don't think he wants to hear all of that stuff.
I'm not being smart.
You think you're being smart?
Piers is being smart.
No,
You're being dumb.
Smart.
He got
I'm
you.
still going to flatten you.
He got
Do
you.
I want you to get back up, Chris?
He got you.
Do I want you to amend your relationship with your dad?
Piers is not
Most
getting
of
me.
the public do. Most of the public do. Is your dad in my corner come fight night? Yes, he is. But yes, I would love to see you guys mend your relationship. It is sad to see, and life is too
Is
short.
your
I don't
dad
wanna hear
in
about
Life is too
my
short.
corner?
Me
Oh,
and
it's
you-
going to be
Yes, he
sad
is.
when your ass
We're
is
gonna get in that
when your
ring.
ass is handed to you come April 26th.
And we're gonna hurt each
Hopefully
other.
that'll mend your relationship.
We're going to hurt each other in front of millions of people. That is the bottom line.
I mean, Conor, for me, it's interesting because many would think you're taking a bit of a gamble here because you're going up quite a lot in your normal weight. He's 7 years older and therefore much more experienced than you are. Physically, he seems bigger than you as you sit here together. You're exuding a lot of confidence about this, but do none of those things concern you?
Not really, no, because he's just a man. I don't look at him as he's a man. I'm not scared of no man. I look at him and he's just been flattened.
So why did you try and enforce this rehydration clause? If I'm just
Just been flattened by a lineman. I ain't talking to you. You've just been flattened by a light middleweight. You think I'm in the slightest concerned? I will absolutely iron you out. I'm going to come in there and stick it on you from the get-go. Straight away. I'm going to come out there hot skipping a big right hand to a big flipping head of yours.
I don't believe it.
You don't believe me? What would you believe in?
I don't believe
What do you
it.
believe
I
in?
think you're going to run for your life.
Oh, shut up. Talk shit.
I think you're going to run around.
You talk rubbish. You're delusional.
That's what I think.
You're delusional.
I can't wait to this
Delusional.
fight.
I'm
This
gonna come
fight
out
is
there
going
and
to
stick
be...
it straight on you. Who's the one who asked for an 18-foot ring? And you're moaning going, I want a 22. I'm the one who asked for the 18-foot ring.
And you know why I said I don't want an 18?
Yeah, exactly. Don't be kind. Whatever your excuse is, I've asked for an 18-foot ring.
He asked for an 18-foot ring, and that was something that he
No
kind
free knockdown rule when the corner can't save you.
That's what he's. I don't want anything else. Just want an 18-foot ring.
You can have the ring walk second. You can have the home corner. You can have your name first.
I will have all of that.
Have all of that. I don't care about all the fancy stuff. Just give me an 18-foot ring. Corner can't save you, and no free knockdown rule.
And
that's
guess
all
what?
I've asked for. Guess what?
I know. That's all you've asked for, and guess what? You're not even getting that.
Let me ask you both.
I don't care about what size the ring is.
Well, I am getting that.
I don't care about what size the ring is. I don't think it makes any difference at all to the outcome of the fight.
Check your contract.
But just because you want it,
check your contract.
It's not going to happen.
Oh, really?
I'm not giving you an inch.
Check your contract.
Not a millimeter I'm giving you.
You're both in the business of professional violence. You know, many people have a problem with boxing just on principle, that people shouldn't earn a living from punching each other in the head. What do you say to people that feel that way about what you do?
A lot of people are going to have opinions about everything. I mean, boxing's the classiest of combat sports, in my opinion. It's a great sport, and it does a lot more good than it does bad.
I have to agree.
You feel the same?
It teaches you discipline. You know, the kids that are running around on the street, stabbing and robbing, joining gangs. Boxing is one of those sports where it can channel that energy, and it can take the youngsters away from those environments, teach them discipline, teach them respect. Once you know how to fight, you actually don't want to hurt people. As crazy as that sounds, it's the people who don't know how to fight which are out there trying to be the tough guys.
Yep.
So I think
But he knows how to fight. You know how to fight, but you want to hurt him.
What is Piers Morgan? What is wrong with him? He's talking about in a situation where we're obviously talking about in the street. This is a professionally organized fight. We're talking about, oh my God, man. This is the problem with casual supporters of boxing. They don't understand the subtle nuances of how you talk as a boxer and the things that you mean. Hopefully, Chris irons this out.
We are going to be getting into a ring in a few months' time. You know, if he wasn't a fighter and I wasn't a fighter, I wouldn't have any animosity towards him. Just because our fathers fought all those years ago, but they did fight. But we did both enter into the game of boxing, and he did get caught with performance-enhancing drugs. All those things
It's going back to that.
have created an extreme dislike between us. I'm not going to say hate because it's too strong of a word.
I mean, at the first press conference, you pulled the stump with the egg and you smashed it around his face. Some people laughed, others thought it was all good, part of the sporting thing. Other people felt it was quite a demeaning moment to reduce it to whacking your opponent with an egg. I mean, on reflection, are you pleased you did that?
On reflection, I wish I had an egg in both hands. That's the truth of it.
Oh
The egg-
my
I get the
God.
second one off. Hold it absolutely on.
The egg was, it was a symbol.
Oh, shut
It was a statement.
You know when Chris Eubank Sr said, let's have some parliamentary procedure, and then you could hear in the background Nigel Benn going, oh gosh. That was the same kind of thing that just happened there where Chris Eubank Jr said the egg was a symbol, and then and then Conor Benn is like, oh, shut up.
What was the statement?
That if you cheat, you will be punished. you'll be embarrassed, you'll be exposed.
Cleared.
Okay.
3 times.
Cleared by people I don't know and don't care about.
But
You
you're
don't play with
the
me.
one who's an idiot.
Conor, how does it make you feel when he repeatedly calls you a Jew?
That's his job. Because if I was him, I'd probably do the same. So I get it.
And he's trying to get in your head. He's trying to discredit you.
He's still going to get ironed out and flattened April 26th. It really don't make no difference. Say what you want. The reality is, the facts are, let's talk factual. Not opinion, not I don't like the conclusion. The facts are, I've been cleared 3 times by people whose IQ is a lot smarter than him. He's got the IQ of a 5-year-old child.
Important to note, you fought 3 times since the cancellation of that first fight, and you were knocked out by Liam Smith in January 23. You then avenged that loss by stopping him in the rematch. But to be knocked out by someone like Liam Smith, since you were supposed to get in the ring together,
I'm sure every time that Chris Eubank Jr. hears Piers Morgan saying knocked out by this guy, knocked out by the super middleweight, he's getting pissed. And like, Piers Morgan needs to look at Chris Eubank Jr.'s face. He's just staring at Piers Morgan. Say knockout one more time. Say knocked out one more time, and I'm going to show you what that means.
You know, knocked out is a very strong word. The fight finished with me on my feet, begging the referee to let me continue.
See, that little comment there was like, look, don't use that word, Piers Morgan, yeah? I'm going to warn you now what that word means. This is what happened to me. It's not the same, yeah?
That means you're on the floor, unconscious, like he says he's going to do to me.
so you were stopped.
I was stopped by the referee.
Better upgrade.
You can't swim without getting wet. If you fight enough, if you put yourself in these environments enough times, eventually there's going to be a little slip up.
I slept like a baby. First day we faced off. I had like a warmth in my heart, knowing that in just under 8 weeks, I am going to render you unconscious. I slept so good that night. Genuinely, I slept like a baby.
You didn't get a wink.
I slept so good.
You didn't get a wink.
I slept so good. Do you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to post my whoop on that night, on that day. Slept like an absolute baby, knowing that I'm going to render him unconscious April 26th.
The angriest I've seen you actually was when your dad intervened with the egg throwing and put his arm, I think, on your throat. And at the second press conference, you basically threatened Nigel Benn. Said if he did that again, you deal with him. And
it wasn't a threat, it was a promise.
Oh, it's not a promise, is it?
You can't touch
scumbag.
You can't
But we
touch
did.
you can throw an egg in his face and his father can't.
No,
me and him are fighting.
You're just
he's
upset.
heating up now.
I can't stand you. My
I'm
dad
not
has
upset.
my back. You are, that's all that
I'm not
was.
upset.
My dad put
Me
his
and you
hands
are fighting.
again.
Whatever
What are you
happens
gonna do
between
about it?
us.
My dad would put his arms around you.
no,
What are you
no,
going to do about it?
No
What
one
are you gonna
else.
do about it? Tell me.
No one else can touch me.
Tell
And
me.
if they do, there'll be
Tell me.
consequences.
Consequences to what?
If
What's
anyone
to
else,
slap you right now?
if
What if I was to slap you right now?
anyone else touches me,
What if I was-
Do you see what I'm saying, guys? I swear to you, Conor Benn is volatile. He's like that match that you're just sparking on the side of the matchbox, and then at one point it's just gonna go off.
Slap you right now. What are you going to do about it?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, talk about my dad.
I'm not talking about your
my
dad.
No.
But I
you
told
talk-
him.
Yeah, but
I
you should-
told
you should
him.
Get off me, please.
My old man would never touch you, so your old man's never going to touch me.
I'll never slap you.
You
I
would
would
never
never
slap
slap
me.
you. Yeah, no, I won't
You
slap
put your
you.
hands on me twice since my last fight.
When?
You pushed me.
Push, a little push.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You put your hands on me.
Little push and stuff.
You
Stop moaning
put your
about
hands
it.
on me.
Stop moaning about it. Little push and stuff. Stop moaning about it. Talk
is-
about my dad.
You put your hands on me, I put my hands on you.
I'll
Now
never
we're even.
disrespect your dad.
Yes, you
understand?
would. You disrespected him
What-
before.
What, the fact that he don't like you? It's a matter of fact.
Okay, well,
That's
it's
a matter
disrespect.
of fact. How's that
You
disrespect?
can't give it and not take it.
You fucked up by talking about my dad. You done fucked up
You
talking
fucked up
about my
touching
dad.
me, and you fucked up by taking this fight.
Yeah.
That's right.
Look at this, boy. Look at his face. This is what you caused. This is what you started. Don't have this face now like, oh, don't look. You need to understand that these are not your normal guests, Piers Morgan. When you stir the pot and the ingredients are boxers that hate each other, this is what you're gonna get. This explosion of flavor.
What the fuck you looking at?
You,
Well, come, we can have it outside, no problem.
Straight
we can have
now.
it outside, no problem.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, we can. We can. Think I'm mucking around? Threatening my dad? You think I'm playing games? Ever talk to my dad like that? Ever
Make
talk
sure
to
he
my
never
dad
puts
like
his hands
that?
on me.
Ever talk to... Well, don't put your hands on your son. And we'll have it out then.
Anytime you
Me
want.
and son will have it out then.
Anytime you want, kid.
Do you think it was disrespectful though,
Fucking
to
extremely
threaten
disrespectful.
Nigel Benn in the way
He's
you
calling
did?
him kid.
The
He's
guy
only
put,
defending
the
his
guy
son
put his
for-
hand around my
Defending
neck.
his son, you may not understand that because that
Defending you
more
against
don't run
what?
in
An
your
egg?
family. Like my dad don't run in your family. It
Defending
could have
you
been
against
glass.
what?
It could have been anything.
Bullshit.
It could have. What do you mean
He
bullshit?
didn't
It
know
could
in
have
the
been
moment
anything.
what was
It
going
doesn't
on.
matter what he didn't know.
Why?
Put your hands on someone's
he
son.
can't
If anyone
defend-
put their
he can't-
hands, if anyone put their
Nobody
hands on my
touches
son,
me
I
and gets
promise
on
you
me.
they won't
Nigel
live.
couldn't defend his son when he wasn't sure what you were using to attack him.
Listen, he can do whatever he wants, but I had to issue the warning to let him know that it can't happen
And
again.
what would you do if he did that again?
I said he wouldn't get his hand back if he
What
puts it on
meaning
me
what?
again.
What does that mean?
It means what it means.
Well, tell me what that
What?
means.
I said it.
He wouldn't get his hand back. What are you going to do? Cut it off?
He wouldn't get the hand back.
Is it again? Piers Morgan, stop asking stupid questions. Obviously, there's gonna be. That's all you need to know. There's gonna be consequences. Like you started this, and you're not learning your lesson, Piers Morgan. They are going to fight anyway, so they're in your studio at the present time, and you're asking these questions. Come on, man, stop being silly.
What does that mean?
I don't need to say anything more.
Chris, come on. You've got to explain what that
I
means.
don't have to do
You tell
anything.
him-
He's being clever again.
You
I
tell
made-
a man
I
he's
made
not
the
going to have his
statement.
hand back. Why?
I made the statement, and that's it.
What are you going to do to his hand?
I made the statement,
Oh
and that
my
is it.
god.
Piers.
But was it not disrespectful to target his dad,
The guy put his hand on my neck.
defending his son?
I don't care why. He
Really?
put his hand on his neck.
Stupid.
Well, there's no
That's
reason.
stupid.
I mean, wouldn't you defend your children
Yes,
if
I
someone
would.
did that
Of
to one
course I
them?
would. Of course I would. But I'm not talking about me. I'm talking what he did.
If he was to put his hands on my son, I swear to God he wouldn't be living. And until you have kids, obviously you don't, because you don't understand, and your dad obviously never protected you. That's why you feel the way you feel. Which is why you obviously
Yeah.
feel the way you feel. No, it's a matter.
Oh, yeah,
Again,
I
it
was
must
never
be the way
protected.
feel the way you
I
feel.
was never protected.
Yeah,
It was-
you was probably never. You look like you never been protected. You look like you never been protected.
maybe that's why I'm the hard bastard I
No,
am
you ain't a
now.
hard bastard. You just got banged out, mate, by a light middleweight. Don't hard bastard.
You'll find
Hard
out how
bastard
hard
to
I
who?
am.
Hard bastard to who?
You'll find
If
out.
we was to have it now in the cobbles, I guarantee you there's only one making it out, and I promise you on my life, it ain't you.
Oh man, if only you knew, kid. I'm a 3-time IBO world champion at super middleweight and middleweight. And outside of
They were interim titles.
no, they were.
Piers Morgan just doesn't know what he's talking about. Like he doesn't understand that. I bet you he thought that the IBO belt was an interim position for either the WBC, WBO, WBA, and IBF belts. Oh my god.
Did you feel that they were as valid as?
Absolutely.
Just
Regardless
people-
of what
people
other
have
people
questioned,
say,
yeah.
regardless of, how they view those titles, to me, I was a world champion. I am a world champion.
Do you believe that, Conor?
No, not at all.
It doesn't matter what he believes.
He's asking me my opinion. My opinion is no. I got offered to fight for the IBO world title against Sebastian Formella, who I beat convincingly. But I chose not to fight for the IBO world title so I don't lose my ranking in the legitimate other organisations, which is why I'm top 5 in the WBA, WBC, IBF and WBO, because I chose not to fight for the IBO world title just to say I'm IBO world champion. And the reality is he fought for the IBO in a leisure centre in front of 2,000 people.
I fought for the IBO at the O2 in front of 20,000.
people. Who was it? Quinlan? Who was it? Renaud Quinlan?
James DeGale.
No, Renaud Quinlan was it?
I'm 2-time.
Was it Renaud Quinlan?
2-time.
Was it Renaud Quinlan?
One was against
13
James
and
DeGale.
2 from Australia.
Have you ever
Was
fought
it?
in front of
Was it?
20,000 people
Was it?
headline?
Actually, not headline, but I have.
No, you haven't.
But again, what
Exactly.
you've done is summed up your whole career. That's your greatest accomplishments. I'm still 28. I've got time. You ain't. You're an old
long,
AP.
kid. Not for long.
You're an old age pensioner, mate.
You think you've got time. You've actually
course
got
I've
2
got time.
months, and then it's game over for you.
Again, talking rubbish.
He's too boy.
It's been a
Oh
fascinating
my
interview
gosh.
because it's had very different moments and turns.
It's been a
There've
crazy
times when
interview.
you've both been very open with me. Human, actually, in a way I wasn't expecting. And then other times, as we've seen, when suddenly it hasn't taken much
There's
to
a
get you
lot
guys
between these
at
two.
each other's throats. There's a lot of simmering anger there between you. I think partly genuine animosity between the two of you, but also the legacy that you both clearly feel of Ben versus Eubank, carrying that generational burden on your shoulders, living up to your fathers. There's a lot going on here. I can feel it. There's a lot of complex emotions.
Piers Morgan.
What do you think happens when that bell goes for round one?
You guys are going to see one of the best fights in British.
I bet you Conor Benn is... I'm just going to predict what Conor Benn is going to say. I'm going to knock him out.
Boxing history. That's what I think happens.
Conor?
He gets ironed out in 4 rounds.
Oh my gosh. So obvious.
What do you think happens?
The procedure will be parliamentary.
To quote your father.
Absolutely.
It's interesting that even in that moment, you're thinking of him, mimicking the way he talks.
We are our father's sons. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, as they say. And I will uphold the family name.
When we saw your fathers together earlier, they refused to shake hands at the end of being interviewed. Would you
This
shake
would be
hands
interesting
together
now.
now?
Yeah, of course I would.
Oh,
No,
I didn't expect that.
this is not.
Didn't expect that.
This is not a
Thought it would
time
have been
to
the other way
be
around.
cordial. If there's ever a day that he comes clean about what happened and why it happened, why he failed those drugs tests, then we can talk about shaking hands. Until that time, no respect will be given to this kid. None.
Even though he's just
That
magnanimous.
was
and
so
said he
hard
would.
for me to do, by the way.
I was not expecting Conor Benn to say that he would shake the hand of Chris Eubank Jr. Obviously, to shake your opponent's hand, that's one thing. But to shake this opponent's hand, Chris Eubank Jr.'s hand, I'm just totally shocked at that.
It was so hard for me to not slap you across the face when we had that face off. So hard. And my mum would be really proud of me because I promised I wouldn't do anything stupid. And I like to just point out that was so hard for me to do. Probably one of the hardest things I've had to do in a long
Fight's
time.
going to be a lot harder.
But you
You're
can't. You
done.
can't even shake each other's hand.
I could shake
I know
his hand.
you've offered to, but you won't do that.
What would it achieve?
I just
Apart
think the
from
fact
giving you views.
It doesn't give me any views.
So why are you asking us to do it? I've
Because
told you I don't want to do it.
I think that actually it is a noble sport, and that although you're going to be getting in a ring and
They
pounding
can
each
shake
other's
afterwards.
heads in,
Yeah,
actually,
Piers Morgan,
you can
like,
also at the same
sometimes
time
you need to
have a
just
mutual
relax.
respect for the fact you're both professional boxers,
Piers.
and you both know what that entails.
He has no class. He just slapped me around the head with an egg. You think he's going to shake my hand? He has 0 class.
I've shaken the hands of pretty much every man I've ever fought. But if you cheat, that respect, it goes out the window. I'm sorry.
Your opinion.
I have to make an example. You know, there are kids that are going to watch this. They need to understand, if you get caught,
Cleared.
you lose everything.
But why don't you accept that he's
Yeah.
been cleared by all the
I
official
don't want to keep
bodies?
going over it, Piers.
No, but why don't you accept
He
it?
got caught with performance enhancing
So
drugs.
why
in the
fight
system.
him? Why not just say I refuse to fight this guy?
Because
needs
this
money.
fight
Yeah,
is
it's
it's unprecedented. It's never happened in the history of boxing, and he's going to fight anyway. That's what happens. People fail drugs tests. And
Cleared,
come
no
back.
ban. Cleared,
Cleared
no
or not
ban,
cleared?
no fine. Oh, of course it matters.
They come
I've
back
shown
into
more
the ring and they
integrity in the
continue
past
on their
2 years
careers.
than you have
You
done
don't
your
have
whole
to fight.
career.
I don't have to, but I
You've
want
chosen
to.
to.
Conor
I want
Benn,
to.
I
So you're
would say.
fighting, but you won't. People will think there's a contradiction there.
Good. That's okay. I'm an enigma, as they say. Some people don't understand me. I'm not here to be understood.
I'll give you one last chance.
Don't ask me again, Piers.
Just
Is
shake
it-
his hand.
Don't ask me again.
This is... I don't know what is wrong with Piers Morgan. Like, Piers Morgan shows that he just doesn't understand the psychology of boxers. Never entwine yourself in trying to do something that changes the mentality or attitude that a boxer feels he needs to preserve into the fight. Like, the shaking of hand is not necessary. They can do that after the fight. They can always show sportsmanlike conduct after the fight.
I tried. Thank you both for your time.
Don't try.
And
Leave it alone.
may the best man win.
All right, guys. So that is it. You've seen the exchange between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Did you like the interview? What do you think about the fight coming up? Who do you think is going to win? What do you think about Piers Morgan? I think he needs to address a few things. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace.